Temper tantrums and meltdowns might look the same at first glance, but they're actually completely different. And here's the problem. If you treat a meltdown like a tantrum, it could make things much worse for your child. Today, I'll show you the hidden signs to look for so you can spot the difference, and at the end of the video, I'll show you how to respond the right way every time. Recognizing the difference between tantrums and meltdowns isn't just about knowing what's going on in the moment. It's about protecting your child's emotional and developmental health. If you treat a meltdown like a tantrum, you might increase their distress. On the other hand, treating every tantrum like a meltdown might create more power struggles in the future. But it's bigger than just that. Frequent meltdowns might be a sign of something deeper, like sensory processing challenges or even autism, which could go unnoticed if you don't recognise what's really happening. Getting it wrong could delay the support your child needs. The key to spotting the difference lies in understanding why your child is behaving that way. Tantrums are goal-driven. Think of them as your child's way of saying, I want something and I'm going to push every button I can to get it. You might notice them testing your reaction, looking to see if you're paying attention or adjusting their behaviour when they think it might work. Typical signs can be crying and screaming, explosive reactions like kicking, hitting, throwing objects, holding their breath, running away or falling to the ground, stiffening their body by arching their back. Meltdowns, on the other hand, come from complete overwhelm. They aren't about testing limits or getting what they want or seeking attention. They're a physiological response to too much stimulation. Your child's hit their emotional limit and lost control. Common signs of a meltdown could be screaming or aggressive behaviour, withdrawing by shutting down or refusing to communicate, pacing or rocking back and forth, frustration and irritability. Another way of working out if it's a tantrum or a meltdown is by asking yourself, are they looking at me and waiting for a reaction? That's probably a tantrum. Does the behaviour escalate no matter what I do? That's probably a meltdown. So why does telling the difference matter so much? Imagine your toddler wants a snack right before dinner and you say no. They throw themselves on the floor screaming. If you mistake this for a meltdown and give in, they learn that tantrums work, and you're possibly setting yourself up for more battles down the line. Now, picture another scenario. Your child has had a long, exhausting day. The noise at the dinner table becomes too much, and they completely break down. If you treat this like a tantrum and try to discipline them or ignore the behaviour, it won't stop, and they'll spiral further because they're not in control of their emotions anymore. Responding the wrong way doesn't just prolong the problem, it can leave your child feeling misunderstood and unsupported. So now that you know how to spot the difference, let's talk about how to respond to tantrums and meltdowns, because the way you respond is crucial, not just for managing the specific moment, but also for shaping how your child learns to cope with emotions over time. Here's how to respond to tantrums. Like we said earlier, tantrums are about control. Your child is testing boundaries or trying to get something they want. So your response needs to focus on setting boundaries while staying calm and empathetic. And here's how. First of all, acknowledge their feelings. I can see you're really upset because you want that snack right now. By naming the emotion, you show them that you understand, which can help them feel heard. Next, stay firm and consistent. But we're having dinner soon, so the answer is still no. Always avoid giving in if you possibly can. It teaches them that tantrums won't help them get what they want. Then redirect their focus by offering a distraction or an alternative. Why don't we set the table together while we wait for dinner? This shifts their attention and helps them transition away from their frustration. Notice that you're acknowledging their feelings without rewarding the behaviour. This teaches them that it's okay to feel upset, but tantrums won't help them get what they want. But here's the tricky part. Tantrums thrive on attention. If your child is escalating because they think it will change your answer, try stepping back. Let them feel the emotions while staying calm and consistent. The idea is that over time, they'll learn that this approach doesn't actually work and the tantrums will decrease. I know how hard this can be, but try not to yell or react emotionally, as this often fuels the tantrum even more. And once you've set the boundary, don't negotiate, as this can send pretty mixed messages. Now let's talk about how to respond to meltdowns. When it's a meltdown, your approach needs to be completely different. Remember, this isn't about control or testing limits. It's your child hitting that emotional or sensory limit and becoming overwhelmed. Your goal is to reduce stimulation and offer a safe space for them to process their feelings. The first step is to focus on safety and reducing their overwhelm. So if you're in a loud or chaotic environment, move to a quieter space. You can dim the lights or reduce the noise. Basically, try to eliminate any sensory triggers. Let's go and sit in the other room where it's quieter. Next, focus on being a calm, grounding presence. Your child doesn't need you to fix the meltdown. They need to feel safe and supported. So sit near them or hold them gently if they're open to it, and say something like, "I'm here with you. It's okay to feel this way. Let's sit together until you're ready." Now is not the time to ask questions or try to reason with them. A meltdown is not a teachable moment. Let them process the emotion first. Unlike tantrums, meltdowns won't stop immediately with intervention. Your role is to wait it out calmly, letting them know that they're safe. Once the storm passes and they're calm again, well, that's your opportunity to gently talk about what happened. For example, you could say, "It seemed like things felt too loud and busy earlier. Next time, we can find a quiet spot sooner." Here's the part that's easy to miss as a parent. If your child is having frequent or intense meltdowns, this could be the sign of something more, like sensory processing challenges, autism spectrum conditions, or emotional regulation difficulties. These aren't just bad days, they could be your child's way of showing you that they're struggling with the world around them. If this sounds familiar, it's worth speaking to a paediatrician or a specialist to explore what's really going on. This sort of early support can make a huge difference in helping you and your child manage these moments. Let's look at a common scenario most of us parents have encountered at some point or another. Imagine you're at the supermarket and your child suddenly starts crying, hitting the floor, basically causing a bit of a scene. The big question is this a tantrum or a meltdown? Here's how to figure it out and how to handle it. You need to look for clues. Are they trying to get something like a toy or a snack? Are they glancing at you to see how you're reacting? Does the behaviour shift if you ignore it or redirect their attention? If the answer is yes, it's likely a tantrum. In this case, acknowledge their feelings with something like, "I know you're frustrated because I said no to the toy. It's hard when we can't have what we want." But stay firm and also say, "But we're not buying toys today." And then redirect their focus. Let's pick out some fruit together instead. By staying calm and consistent like this, you're showing them that tantrums won't change your boundaries. Now let's say it's something more. They're crying uncontrollably, not reacting to what you say, and their behaviour seems to escalate no matter how you respond. It could be that the bright lights or the noise or the crowded aisles, anything like that really has set them off, and it's all too much. These are signs of a meltdown. In this case, remove them from the environment. Take them outside or a quieter space to reduce the sensory overload. Stay calm and sit with them and say something like, "It's okay, I'm here with you, let's take some deep breaths together." Then just wait it out. Don't try to reason with them or fix the situation right away. Let the meltdown run its course. So now you know how to tell the difference between temper tantrums and meltdowns and how to respond. But what about stopping tantrums before they even start? If you're tired of constant power struggles, my next video walks you through 3 simple tricks to handle tantrums during the terrible twos. Don't forget to like this video if it was helpful and subscribe to my channel for more parenting tips. I'll see you soon.